Hello, in this video I'd like to demonstrate the LibraryPlace script for trueSpace. It can be downloaded from this page here. So you just download that, and it has a couple of other requirements. It requires the persistent base install. You can follow this link to get that information. And also requires this LibraryPlace template and the installation of the RSX plugin. Okay, let's see what we got here. I already have the RSX plugin installed and have the script here and the other requirement right here, that LibraryPlace template. I'll open that up and extract it. I'm just going to take this folder and drag it into the trueSpace folder here. And you can tell you're in the right place if you see your RS main libraries at the same level. All right, go on to trueSpace and install the script. To install the script, just click and drag it into the link editor and then wait for it to do its song and dance. Right now it's resetting the toolbars. And when it's done, we'll have a new button right here on the toolbar. And there we go. Now the installation is complete, I can delete this node and start working on it. Okay, to get started, just left clicking will open up this panel. And from here you can select a folder. If you don't select anything at all, it'll use that trueSpace RS. Let's see if that's still open. Let me bring that over. It'll open up this library, the RS main libraries that comes with trueSpace. And I'll do that now. I won't select the LibraryPlace. I'll skip the recent LibraryPlaces, and I'll just click on this Create Activate LibraryPlace. And what that'll do is it'll create an objects library, a render library, and a scenes library by default. You can choose which libraries you want to create here. And go ahead and push the button. What it'll do is it'll open up the libraries, and I can start using that. Okay, I'll start with an empty screen. I'm going to right click on the button this time and say I want to save the scene. So I'm going to save the scene. If we go to the library, we can see the scene was saved. But at the same time, a backup scene was saved. We can go see that right here. The scenes backup library was created by the script. If I open that up, see we have the same thing. I'll increase the size of the thumbnail to make it easier to see. Okay, now I'll make a change to the scene. And I'll right click that button again and save the scene again. Now when I go to the libraries, see that there's only one scene in the scenes folder, but the backup has two. That's the original scene and the new one. And I can continue to do that and continue to get a history of what happened before. So I'll right click on the icon to bring it back, save the scene, and there's the one scene and the history of scenes. And the same thing works for objects. I'll go ahead and right click the button again to get the panel back. I'm going to control drag that out of the link editor to make it a little easier for demonstration. I'm going to save the object and open up this objects backup library. And so we have the same thing. Now I'll edit the shape of that and save the object again. And we see in the backup we have the two versions of the object and only the newest one in the objects library. And the point is, after a long project, you can go out, you'll have your final versions in your scenes and objects, and you can go and just delete the backups because you probably don't need them anymore. Okay, now I'm going to change back to where you create new libraries. I'm going to click the Select LibraryPlace folder, which will allow me to create a new one. I'll just do it on this PC. See, I'll make a new folder. I'll call it Test Place. And I'll click to be sure it's selected and click OK. Now I can click the Create Activate LibraryPlace button. First I'm going to close all these that I had open before, the render scenes. So when I click the button, it'll open up these new scenes fresh. And we can see that on the drive. I called it Test Place, and there's the libraries that were created. And down here we have the recent places. I think it keeps 5 recent places. So if I want to go back to the other library place, I can go ahead and close those to get rid of any confusion. I can select it in the drop-down list and push the button to select it. And then just click this button. It won't create any new libraries, it'll just open up the ones that already existed. And there we have it, the object and the scenes. Let's see, the reset button, that'll clear the recent places and set the checkboxes back to their defaults of the object, render, and scenes. I can also use the Select Library Place folder and choose one that I created a while ago. There's just an ordinary library place right here. And I click OK. And you can see it fills in the checkboxes of what I had before for that pre-existing library. And I can open that up. And that'll open up all the scenes that I had in that project, along with the objects. And it also has its backups. And that, I believe, is everything I wanted to show. And there's also extra buttons. The library browser is closed, I can open up the library browser. And I can open up the libraries for the current active place. So I'll close these and demonstrate that one button. And open up the libraries again. And that's everything. Thanks for listening.